Hey guys, this is Kaiju 2014-117. I know it's been like forever since you've seen me, since my last video on like funny parody advertisement for the Godzilla drink. So today I just want to say happy Godzilla Day to all of you guys and to all the G fans out there celebrating 68th anniversary of Godzilla. So I did seen the two short films of Godzilla vs. Gigan, the one from the Gemstone, which has a pretty interesting Gigan Rex model. I would say that it looks amazing, and I like how Gigan Rex looks really, really menacing, and as well having a new kind of whiplash chainsaw. That's pretty cool. Also, I did like the new Godzilla design. Kind of reminds me a little bit from the what's the from the 90s, from the Heisei era, which it looks like they try to hint that that could be Godzilla Jr., but it's not too certain. But I'm also glad that Toho was able to do one of those following fan movies. And then I did see the short film of the live action Godzilla Final Wars versus the Showa Gigan, which is an interesting take. And I did like how it's very similar to the fight how they did with Godzilla versus Hedorah back in 2021. My goodness gracious, it's been that long. Anyways, to do some celebration, I will do some video update for my collection. So I know I haven't been doing YouTube video posts for a long time, but I have been posting a lot on Instagram. If you guys haven't seen my Instagram, um, Instagram profile, just type in Kaiju 2014-117. I should be right there, along with a whole bunch of photos. So just let you know where I got these figures. I got it from Buyee JP. For those who do not know what Buyee JP is, it's basically an international online store that's mostly if you buy some stuff from Japan, they depending on which certain certain stores you're going, you can purchase from there, but you can also use it through Buyee or under Buyee if they are having partnership with each other. You can purchase one of the following items. Don't put it in like I guess there's like a Buyee card that will appear if you log in, and I think it depends on what you're using. I heard it's probably either Firefox or Google Chrome that will be helping you purchase some stuff. So anyways, for Buyee, you basically buy some stuff from Japan, put it into the Buyee cart. Once you put it into the Buyee cart, you can confirm your purchase. Then give them about 2, 3, maybe a week for the item to go into the Buyee warehouse. Once it's in the warehouse, they will hold the products for about 30 days and until you can finally send it, pay the shipping fees and then send it to whichever location, whether from your home, your work, your friends, your grandparents, your parents, whichever. I've been buying a lot of Godzilla stuff from mostly, I would say, Yahoo Auction, Yahoo Store, sometimes Mercari too. And what's the word? Uh, it's yeah. Well, anyways, I bought a lot this year, and Buyee was such a great help. And I will show you guys some of my collections, including some of the rare ones that you probably didn't know that I recently discovered. Well, anyways, I'm not sponsorship for or sponsoring for Buyee, or they are my sponsors. But if you guys want to try out, I can send out the link. But if you do need some tips, I will give you one video that I would say is probably the most resource person who can help you, which is Monster Island Buddies, MIB. I can show you one of his videos that he can guide you on how to do the Buyee JP or give you more details. Anyways, so let's begin, shall we? Max. So here are some of my following Godzilla update figures. So right here we have is of course my original Godzilla, which you did see I have it like since a year ago. But these other Godzillas that you're seeing, those with mostly no tags. So for those who do not know, these are actually the memorial box figures of Godzilla. So by that, in year 2004 to 2005, they released all the Godzilla figures that doesn't require tags, but they do have their own special cards. But these kind of figures are actually pretty rare. Like, for example, this is the Godzilla from 1955 from the second film, Godzilla Raids Again. And of course, right here, guess what that is? This is the original King Kong versus Godzilla figure. Yes, the 1962 Godzilla. Then we have the 1964 Godzilla from behind. And recently, I just got it yesterday, the 1965 Godzilla, the 1967, 1968. This is the 1974, and this is 1975. So if you're wondering the difference between the two, basically, they're very similar head sculpt, but I think the 74's neck is more turned for some reason, or it could be just my figure. But if you look closely to the 75, it has a little bit more meaner face. And then this is my personal favorite right here. This is the 1984 Godzilla, which I'm actually glad to have. It was really pretty hard to find, and especially even if I did find it, the pricing for this guy is crazy. However, for those who wanted to buy this, you guys are in luck, because they just announced recently that they're releasing a 1984 Bandai movie monster series Godzilla. It's very similar to the 1991, but they're using the 1984 Godzilla. Basically the same mold. And I heard it's gonna be on the price of $22, which I probably should have waited, but I'm glad for what I have. Then of course we have the 1991, and I believe this is the 92, 3, 4, maybe, well, around those years. Then of course the Burning Godzilla, 1995, and this is the Meltdown Godzilla, which is one of the memorial box figures as well. And then of course the 1999 Godzilla, the 2001, 2002. I'm hoping we can get the Bandai movie monster series. I got this one from Buyee as well. Basically one of the DX 6 to 7 inch figure. Then the Final Wars Bandai movie monster series Godzilla, which I also heard it's being reissued as well. The 2014 Godzilla. And of course the Shin Godzilla's right here. The 2017 anime Godzilla Planet of the Monsters, and of course the second Godzilla basically from that same series. The 2019 Godzilla, and yes, I also got the Burning Godzilla 2019, which is also I bought it from Buyee. And then right here we have all the evolution forms for Godzilla Singular Point, and last but not least we also have the Godzilla the Ride. Now, I am also waiting for the new Godzilla figure that's coming out. I believe one just came out today from during the Godzilla Day, which is the Godzilla versus Gigan Rex, which I also bought the figures, and they're on their way from Buyee. Now, look, if you can look down here as well, I also bought some other stuff too from here. I also bought is the Jet Jaguar figures, Manda, Anguirus, Salunga, of course, and of course this very rare guy, Mechagodzilla. I gotta say, this guy was pretty expensive when I bought him from Buyee JP. Now another figure I will show you around. Here we are. So I also got some of the Mothra figures, including, this one right here, and I already got this King Ghidorah figure, and then I got the King Kong thanks to a friend of mine from the Instagram who is selling it on eBay. And of course the GMKs. However, this one, Death Ghidorah, was one of the figures I bought from Buyee as well. A different kind of color, but according to some sources, this is probably just custom paint. But you know what? This custom paint looks cool. I think this is the most accurate Death Ghidorah I could ever ask for. As we can see, the other color variation was a little bit, or the original variation was a little bit different. And then up here, I had to replace some stuff up here a little bit. I also bought this Cretaceous King Ghidorah, but I think I may have bought it since last year. Behind it is the Exilian Alien. A little bit hard to see. next to the final Wars Rodan. And then a couple of the King Kong figures I got. So if you see the two Kong figures, one of them is a Bandai Movie Monster Series. The other one is basically a special order from, like, if you buy the Blu-ray or 4K, it's actually from like a special order from Japan. This King Kong actually has a battle axe, which supposedly includes with the bright blue pink Godzilla, which I'm not really a big fan of, but I haven't bought that. But instead, I bought this King Kong figure, so it's pretty decent. I wish I could pull it out, but times is short, unfortunately. Then right here, of course, I got the Bandai Movie Monster Series Muto, and then I got the Bandai's Muto. Both of them are in a very more detailed scope, which I also have the box for. Currently being saved, but these guys look awesome. I wish they actually did the female Muto in the Movie Monster Series. I'm not too sure why, but these guys are pretty cool. And then, of course, you can see the King Ghidorah and Mechagodzilla and Gigan, which is the 50th anniversary for Gigan. The thing for this King Ghidorah is basically from the Universal Studios ride Godzilla vs. Evangelion, or Shin Godzilla vs. Evangelion, which is a pretty neat figure. I also bought that as well. You can probably take a guess. Buyee. Now moving along to my other section right here. So I also do have a different type of Mecha Godzillas, the Bandai Creation version, and then the Bandai Movie Monster Series, which I also heard they are also reissuing this Bandai Movie Monster Series. I'm not too sure if I'm gonna buy it, but we'll have to see. And then, of course, Biollante. I still prefer this original Biollante and Fire Rodan, which I also bought the memorial version, which is a brown version. The reason I bought another one is because basically, I believe the original Rodan, before he became Fire Rodan, he was probably in a different color, but I could be wrong. Then we have Batra over here, along with Little Godzilla, Godzillasaurus, and of course, Little Baby Godzilla. And I did get the Mothra 1992 figure as well. And down here, we have 3 different Kuryus, which I'm pretty sure you guys saw previously. And I did got another Space Godzilla. The variation color is a lot better, in my opinion. Better than the Bandai Creation. And I do have Destroyer right over here. Then next up, we have the Gamera section. Unfortunately, I do have some couple stuff down here too. So we do have the Bandai Creation, Bandai Movie Monster Series Gamera. I cannot wait for the new 1992 Gamera, because I'm not a big fan of this Gamera being hunched. And then, of course, we got a new Bandai monster, Daimajin, who's also from the same company with Gamera, which is Katakoa. And then the 2 right here are the special variant color Mechagodzilla / Kuryu. Basically, these 2 are based on Evangelion 1 and Evangelion Unit 2. I shouldn't say Evangelion Unit 1. But I'm also excited to buy the Bandai Movie Monster Series version as well. Anyways, let me pause and go to the next section. Now over here we have, of course, the fake Godzilla, and then I have the Minilla, and then I have the Bandai Movie Monster Series Hedorah, the re-version, which I like this one a little bit more than the Bandai Creation and the original movie version. And of course, Big Boy Gigan right here. Next to the 2 are the YMSF King Kong. This is the 1962 King Kong, and that's the King Kong Escapes. And I do have the Frankenstein and the 2 of the Gargantuans, which is Sanda and Gyra. And yes, I also have Gabara. And I also, I think I bought this Rodan, not from JP, but from Target, so Playmates, basically. And over here, of course, there are 2 Mechagodzillas, the original, and then Mechagodzilla version 2, which I believe that's they call it the damage color variation, but it looks, I don't see much damage, but you can probably correct me later. Then I have Orga with the tag, and then I have Gorosaurus. And, of course, I have the YMSF Behemoth. He's pretty cool looking. The only thing I have an issue is this tusk right here easily falls off. I probably need to glue it, but it came like this when I bought it. And from this section, we have the original Gamera from the Showa series with the original Mogira. I also got this King Ghidorah, which is the original King Ghidorah, which is, I believe, is the Bandai Kaichu Bengaichi, I believe, that's the more detailed and the more expensive. Unfortunately, this is the loose figure, which it supposed to came with a box and the second version of King Ghidorah, but it is crazy expensive. And unfortunately, since it was a loose figure, the tag is no longer on it. You can see there could be like there it is. There's that little hole. That's where the tag used to be. Then over here we have the original Mothra. Then I got YMSF's Varan, Manda, and then I have the Bandai Memorial Box Anguirus and a Bandai Baragon. Now, if you can see from the back, that's actually Kamacuras. I do have Kamacuras. And if you're wondering, do I have Kumanga as well? I do have the YMSF Kumanga. I must have misplaced it elsewhere. But anyways, I'm a little bit disappointed with myself for buying Baragon and Varan, because these two are actually getting a movie monster series as well, coming within next year, which they just recently announced. Along with Abira. I almost forgot Abira. But anyway, these YMSFs are pretty cool, but for most of them, and I'm sorry, I'm kind of lost for words at the moment, but anyways, I'm actually still looking forward to see how Bandai are going to create their Toho movie monster series for these guys. Anyways, next. So around here are my top collections along with some of the military vehicles, and I believe I haven't shown you my Grand King Ghidorah, but I got this around Christmas or before New Year's of 2022. But here, this is my bigger collection. So behind it is basically Playmates Godzillas, of course, especially the one from in here, which was a recent release. I also got the Gotengo. But right here, this is the biggest monster I bought, which is Orochi, along with some of these other monsters and warriors that came along with it, which I finally collect them all. And then, of course, you can see the YMSF's Cthulhu, and this guy right here, the Mecha Godzilla from Ready Player One, which is, you could say it's probably the bootleg version, but it's pretty cool. And then, of course, the King Ghidorah from the Godzilla ride. This is Zilla, basically. Why is he alone? Basically, these where I put all my Godzilla stuff. I'm just emptying it out at the moment. And then down here, you can see more of the land, more of the once I can go to the lower sections. Especially, you can see clearly, I got two different versions of Megaguirus, Mothra, Dagara, the Skull Crawlers, definitely, and especially the Batra, and the other Mothras, and of course Ghidorah itself. Anyways, these are my collections so far, and I hope you guys enjoy. Alright, once more I want to say is thank you so much for tuning into my channel, and till next time, and everyone, stay proud of yourself to become a Godzilla fan, and if you just become a Godzilla fan, stay proud. And especially, I am looking forward to the new Godzilla movie that is coming out next year. Now, it's not Godzilla vs. Kong, just to let you know. This is from Japan. They just found a director who's directing this new Godzilla movie, and it turns out this guy who's directing it, he actually didn't do Godzilla directly, but he did the movies Always Sunset on 3rd Street. So there was a sequel of it. He did an introduction or opening of that film where it shows Godzilla rampaging through Tokyo. So I was like, that's actually a good idea. And as well, he directed, as I heard, the Godzilla the Ride, which is why the head is very similar to the one in 2010. So I'm like, this is going to be interesting. However, we're not too sure of the details what it is. What I heard that the setting is going to take place somewhere in post-World War II, I believe. So this could be an interesting take on what Godzilla is doing during that time and era. Well, anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Till next time, this is Kaiju 2014 117 signing off.